All right. So the number one question that I've always been asked by numerous events, conventions, and even weather groups is how can we be more inclusive of trans and non-binary people? Like how can we include them more in the space? How can we let them know that they are welcome within our space? And I feel like the main area where people get a little bit muddled is the difference between passive acceptance and active inclusion. Passive acceptance, in this case, an example would be an event where they state on their website that, oh yes, trans and non-binary people are welcome, but what does that look like? People can say that they are inclusive of trans and non-binary people, but what are you showing that is you including us in the conversation? What is that inclusion looking like? With my entire friend group is trans and non-binary. And one thing I ask them a lot is, like, what does that look like to you? And a lot of them will say, who is being shown as the faces of this event? There are things like conventions. Is it all looking like cisgender gay men, or are there people who maybe have top surgery scars? Are there people who are gender non-conforming? Are there people who maybe on the letter that they have like a trans flag or a non-binary flag? They are looking at the different people, and not just that, but areas of intersectionality. With a lot of my friends, they will look if there are black femmes in those spaces. Are there any indicators or anything like that? Are the people that they are having speak at the event active members of our community? And that is the difference between active inclusion and passive acceptance. It's you can say you are accepting of us all you want, but what brings us to your event is you actively including us in the conversation. Are we on staff? Are we being invited as presenters? Are we being invited as panelists? Are you actively including us at your table? Or are you just saying that? And one thing that I wish more events, group, so on and so forth, producers would also keep in the conversation. When you are wrong, when it's saying you have made a mistake, maybe you got something as simple as getting the pronouns of one of the people that you are having with you incorrect. Maybe it is hey, here are ways that you're going to improve. If your immediate first reaction is, but we said that we included y'all. We said that y'all are included in our conversation. How are you showing us that you are including us in the conversation? And not just that, but you doubling down and insisting that, oh, what I'm doing is correct, is leaving your mind closed to any possible discussion, conversation that can be had with improving that. Because no one's going to get it correct on the first shot. And not to mention that if you are someone who has maybe recently been, maybe you are someone who was LGBT without the T, and then you recently was like, hey, I was wrong, and then trying to improve yourself and immediately doubling down and being like, but I'm correct. That is going to hinder your active growth with including us and making that journey possible. In terms of things like events and conventions, active inclusion would also look like having maybe a feedback forum where trans and non-binary people can actually contribute to the conversation. Maybe you can reach out to community leaders and asking them, how would you improve this event? And keeping your mind open, listening to everything that they have to say, and then looking through that conversation and being like, okay, I see where this can be improved. This area can also be improved. Maybe in your marketing, including more trans and non-binary people in your marketing. Maybe in your programming, maybe you have only one specific group of people presenting. Those are areas that can all be improved on consistently, and we can all work towards a better, more inclusive environment for all of us to be able to come back to.
All right. Thank you.